TDC team, it's our weekly Thursday live, okay? And we're here to talk about an amazing subject, which I know is going to help a lot of you out. So, hello and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining. If you're joining live, go ahead and drop a little comment where you're tuning in from. This episode, we're talking all about that sensation of struggling with content for social media. I know a lot of us, and I'm including myself too, have felt this, whether it's imposter syndrome, confidence on camera, not knowing what to do, knowing what to do, but still procrastinating on doing it. There's just so much into it, and there's little tips and tricks that we do to overcome this. So we are super excited to share this with you. Let's go ahead and get started. Hurry up.
Hello guys, welcome back to another episode. Today is super interesting, it's a great one. Let us know where you're watching from, if you're looking at the YouTube live, and if you're listening from the podcast, make sure to say hi on our social media platforms, Lara Gomez or at @𝘬𝘦𝘦𝘱.
Exactly. So to get started, we're just gonna break it to you, okay? Tough love right here. You can watch all the webinars of the world. You can have all the winning strategies of the biggest brands. You can know exactly what to do. But if you don't have the right mindset, you're not going to accomplish anything and your brand is not going to grow. That's why we know that before you even start implementing like all the technical stuff that we share, we have to work on this very big topic that a lot of people just don't want to talk about, okay? So that's exactly why we're creating this video, because not only have we experienced this, we see it in our clients when we work with our clients, we see it in the people that we coach, we see it in our friends who also have agencies, friends that are also trying to grow their businesses, and they know what they're supposed to do, but they're like, look guys, I just don't know. I just keep procrastinating it. I don't know what to say. Like, there's still obstacles, and we want to make sure that we make those obstacles, right? Those speed bumps that I call, smaller and smaller, because that's really what's going to get you down the road to your business success and to the goal that you personally want to reach.
Yes, so our personal journey, it hasn't been that easy. When you see these lives, you see all of the content that we put out, it's been our journey, okay? We've been getting in front of the camera, trying to improve every single day, talking with you guys, using stories, using social media, and all of this. But this is something that you get better day by day, so you need to make sure that as soon as you start, you're not too hard on yourself on whatever content you're trying to produce, okay? So one of the things is when you start pushing content out, try to get the first pieces of content that you do as fast as you can, so you can improve and just level up to the regular competitive level, okay? So what I mean by this is that your first videos, your first posts for your business, personal brand, or anything that you're trying to do, they won't be that great, okay? So as soon as you can get 150 videos out and you understand how to build this, it's gonna be super easy.
Exactly. So to get started, we already talked about the types of content, okay? So basically, the types of content, you have video, visual, which would be like a picture, a design, a graph, a chart, something like that. We have text, and then we have audio. Each person is better at something than others at the other thing, okay? There's some of us that are good on video. There's some of us that are good at writing. There's some of us that are good on audio. There's some of us that are good designing and creating graphs and visuals that really captivate. That's what makes all of us and our businesses unique. So the goal is for you to find out which one you should concentrate on, because you have one strength. And from that strength, you can then populate the other ones, right? But you work from what you're the best at. So if you want to find out what that is for you, go ahead and scroll down to the quiz link and you can find it out for yourself, okay? That is the first thing. Then from there, we're going to give you our technical tips to overcome this fear. Whether you're showing up on audio, so you're doing your podcast and you're like, okay, first of all, are people even going to listen to me? Am I going to say something that's going to help people? Do I even know stuff in order to be showing up? The answer is yes, okay? You obviously, if you're determined to make a podcast, it's because you know that you have a message to share. And now you're just dealing with that barrier of imposter syndrome. So we're going to give you our tips to actually move all those barriers down for you to show up consistently with your content on social media and on all these platforms that are going to move the needle for your business.
So number one is work on your mindset. That's the huge one. When you think about it, you have your why for your business, personal brand. You have a reason why you're creating content, because you want eyeballs on your specific project that you're going on. So you need to understand that there will be two sides of the equation. You have people that won't like what you're saying and people that they will agree with you, okay? And that's fine, because if you're saying something that's worth sharing, obviously you will have two sides of the coin, okay? So think about that when you start creating content. So the first time that you get your first mean comment, your first haters and all of these, you need to make sure and you need to understand that this is a part of the process, and this is something that you are overcoming, and you need to be able to deal with that kind of judgment, okay? So humans are not used to this, to be in front of millions of people. So when you are in that situation, you need to understand that from 3 mean comments, you have at least 10 good ones, and that's a good thing to happen, because obviously all of the people won't like you, so you need to be able to deal with that fact, okay?
Exactly. I really want to go into what you're saying, because first of all, so besides overcoming like all the things that we ourselves put up as barriers, then when we go out there, then when we start spreading the word, we start coming up to other people's barriers, right? And honestly, one thing that I love telling the people that I coach is whenever you get your first like real hate comment, celebrate that. That to me means that not only are you you're finally like reaching people outside of your bubble, you're finally reaching people outside of your friends and family group, which obviously aren't going to give you hate comments. They're going to be like, oh, this is awesome, like keep it up. You're reaching outside of the people that are looking for your content. You're already reaching people that weren't even looking for your content, yet they wasted time watching it, and now they're even wasting even more time leaving you a hate comment. That's really that's a sign to me. That's a sign that you're already getting your word out so much. So I really want you guys to have that in mind and to really turn the perspective around and to not get affected by that one comment. And I know it's hard. It's hard because we get them, and those comments are like, wow, like, is that really true? Should I stop what I'm doing? No, because probably from that one comment, just like you said, you have 10 other good ones. And those 10 good ones are people's lives that you're impacting and you're changing with your message, with your expertise, with your business, with your product, or with your service. Okay.
Exactly. And also that's how you increase the confidence, how to be on camera, because you're not thinking about, okay, what are they going to say about whatever I'm trying to communicate? So also a big part here is to eliminate any barriers that you have, and also self-doubts, okay? So you are an expert in your subject, you are someone that's trying to teach something new to a specific person, or you have a business that's solving a specific problem, and that's fine, okay? There are always going to be people trying to learn from someone, and maybe you're not the best at it, but you are way ahead in the journey. For example, let's say that you are a health coach and you've been doing this for 3 years. There are people that have been doing that for 1 year, and you have 3 years ahead that you can teach all of the experiences and all of that. So all of the doubts that you have about, am I a real expert, and am I qualified to teach these things?
Yeah,
maybe I don't have a degree.
Even learn from me.
Exactly, or I don't have any certifications or anything like that. But when you think about it, you've been consuming content around this topic for more than 3 years, okay? So that's huge for you. And that happens to businesses, personal brands. So all of these doubts that you have, you need to remember that you always have people that don't know as much as you do. As well, you have people that know way better than
Yeah.
you, and you need to understand that you need to learn from them, okay? So this is something that you need to keep in mind, because there is always an audience for you.
Exactly. We're going to hit more on that point later on, so make sure you stick around. But basically, the second thing that we really want you to make sure that you do have is to have a plan, right? So think about it. When you have your GPS turned on and you're on your way to a destination, no matter how many times you make the wrong turn or how many times you go the other way, your GPS is rerouting you and it's going to get you to your location because you have a plan. That's exactly what you need to have. It's really different if I set out and I start driving and I'm like, okay, take me to California, yet I have no plan, I have no GPS, and somehow I'm gonna land on California, right? That's exactly what happens when you're like, yeah, I'm gonna create content, I'm gonna show up. As compared to, I'm showing up, I'm creating one video per week. That video, then I'm gonna trim it up, put it onto my Instagram, and then from there, I'm going to get little quotes and then put them on, let's say, my Twitter or my LinkedIn. Or I'm gonna start with my podcast. I'm gonna record one episode per week. I'm gonna promote it using my LinkedIn, my Facebook, and my Instagram. And then I'll do an Instagram live with the person that I'm interviewing during my podcast, right? You already have your content plan, which is going to get you to your destination. For me, for example, I know that weekly on Thursdays, I'm showing up with you guys live, okay? If I just said, yeah, I'll do a live every week, I get busy. I don't put it on my schedule. I would keep postponing it and never come live to you guys, right? That's exactly what you have to do. Get specific. Really, really get down on the details of your plan. And I promise you, those barriers are going to get smaller and smaller when in the back of your head, you know that every Thursday you have to show up. When every Thursday you have to record your videos, you have to go live, you have to share this story, you have to do that. It's really, really a whole different ballpark.
And number 3, this one is important, but this one is super common. So when we get calls from our friends, family, coaches, clients, all of this, and you know what this is like? This is huge.
Yeah.
It's the comparison, man. Like everyone is trying to compare themselves to whoever is way ahead in the race.
That's the funny part, that you always, I don't know why, I think that's something that we should study, like the human brain for. You always compare up, but never down. Why does that happen, right? Raise your hand if you find yourself comparing up, but never down, right? Because you personally like sabotage yourself to feel bad because these people are way ahead of you because they started like many more years ahead of you compared to somebody back here who hasn't even started, who you're way more advanced, right?
It's all about input and output. These people put the time into it, so they're getting an output from it, okay? Right now, you're just starting to put an input to a project, so if you do it long enough, it will be that point, okay? So if you've tried it long enough, then you can go ahead and start fixing any problems. You start seeing other people, okay, what can I improve, etc. But if you're just getting started, stop looking at huge personalities in your niche, at huge brands, your competitors and all of this. I'm not saying that you just blindfold yourself, because obviously you need to be able to see what's working and then put a twist to it and bring something unique. But that's the magic word, uniqueness. Okay, you are not copying anything, you're bringing something new to the table, so you can highlight your work, can be like, wow, this is super new, this is awesome, let me go ahead and follow this account, this person, this business. Okay, so you go ahead, learn from the best, and then try to bring a twist to it. But don't keep going back every single day just comparing your content with them, because what's gonna happen, you'll be miserable. Okay, you'll be always trying to, oh my god, my content is not that good, I'll need more equipment, look at these cameras, they're huge, more expensive, they spend $20,000 to make it happen. But in reality, if you take all of that equipment away, if you take all of that away and they show up in camera, their videos will be still even better than yours, because they have more experience, they have more content, they know how to speak on camera, but they got there thanks to the time that they put into it. Okay, the rest, everything that's around you, the equipment and all of that, is something that you can buy. And if I give you everything that you need right now, you won't be able to make the same piece of content as the people that have been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's not about the equipment, it's not nothing about that. It's about the time that you're putting into it. So the more time you put into it, the better you'll get.
Exactly. I made a video, one of my first couple of videos, but talking about it just really, really brought it up. And I think this exercise is going to be really, really, really beneficial for you guys out there watching. So you draw a grid, right? A grid like this. You find yourself and you find other people in your industry. I don't like calling them competitors. I just like calling them other people in your industry, okay? So for example, for our agency, we would find other agencies. In the example, I like using car brands because I feel like we can all really understand the benefit of this. Okay, so for example, let's say that I'm Mercedes and you're, let's say, Ford. Okay, these are two brands that have been in the market years and years and years and years, and they're both thriving, but they're both very different. But imagine if Mercedes tried to copy what Ford was doing, or if Ford tried to copy what Mercedes was doing. Well, it's just not the same thing because they both have really different audiences. They both have really different selling points and benefits. So you get your grid, right? And I would pick two factors which my brand stands on. So what makes my brand unique? So for Mercedes, it could be luxury and maybe reliability, right? They've been around for years. They produce trucks, Sprinter vans, all
And
that
the
good stuff.
engines.
Engines, yeah.
Yeah.
So two things. For every brand, it's something different, right? Then I put a little dot on where my brand stands. Then I grab my competitors or other people in the industry, Ford, and I would place their dot where they stand. So obviously Ford, luxury, they're not really that luxurious as compared to a Mercedes, but they might have a really good engine. So I'll go down on the luxury line, right? So this is a graph. I'll go down and maybe I'll put the engine here, right? So I can automatically see the difference in points of where my brand stands compared to other brands. And I can do this for various features. I like doing it for two features because it really helps you understand, okay, I bring this to the table. That means that Mercedes, hands down, in all of their commercials and all of their content, which they do on social media and they show up consistently, what they're doing is showing you that you can have a luxury vehicle with a good, reliable engine. That's their main thing on anything, whether it's a picture, whether you go to their events, whether you go to the dealership. That's the feeling that you get across from it. So go ahead. That's part of your homework, okay? I always love giving you guys tasks to complete so you're actually taking action from these videos. Go ahead and make your grid. And when you're making it, go ahead and tag us. Post it on your story and tag us at 𝘴𝘤𝘦𝘱 and at 𝘴𝘤𝘬𝘦𝘱. We would love to see you putting this into action.
And something super important now is the fear that you might have by posting. Some people, I was terrified. Like in January, at the beginning of the year, I was terrified to just put myself in front of the camera for many fears, like my accent and my English is not the first language, etc. You have many things that you are always thinking about. So you need to overcome that fear because your message is always more important. If you have something really important to say and you want people to understand what you want to share, all of the fear that you have to be in front of the camera, that's going to disappear, okay? So always think about that because that's huge, okay? So stop the fear, go ahead and try to overcome it just by doing something different every single day and push yourself to the limit.
Exactly. When your message is bigger than your fear, fear no longer matters, okay? When your message is bigger than your fear, fear no longer matters. That means that we know whether we don't look good one day, whether we don't want to show up one day, whether our equipment isn't working one day. The message that we have to get across to you guys, which we know is going to impact thousands of lives, thousands of businesses, right, is a lot stronger than, us not looking good one day, maybe, the camera not working, the light not working, it raining outside. There's like a hurricane outside in Florida right now. Our message is a lot stronger than that.
So that's something that you need to keep in mind, okay? Because this will be the factor that will make or break your content, okay? It's only about showing up every single day or your schedule or whatever you're trying to do, but go ahead and show up, okay? So finally, we have something super, super important.
And I love reading everybody that is watching. I love seeing that you guys are loving it. Keep on leaving those comments and really put it into action, everything that we're saying.
And just to close this thought, it's not about you, it's about what you're trying to share. So stop thinking that this is something that's self-centered in your face or what you're trying to do, even if it's a personal brand, but you have a goal in mind, you have a why, a reason why you want to share this. So you're trying to at least help someone to get started. So if one person was able to find and use your information in a way that now they are having results, success, and anything like that, it's worth it. Okay, one single person, if you have one client for your business, okay, you have shoes, you sell water bottles or anything like that, one client is a happy client, that was worth it. Okay, so that you made a difference in someone's life. So make sure that you go ahead and stop thinking that's about you, stop the self-centered kind of mentality, and start thinking that you're actually sharing a message, you're helping people with products and services, and this is the way to actually make a difference.
Exactly. That's really the most important thing. If we really get down to all the excuses that we hear on a daily basis of everybody that we get in contact with, it's all because something that they're feeling and they're not really thinking about the other people that they're impacting. That's really something that we want to make sure that you guys open your eyes to, concentrate on switching that feeling around. And really, really, the key point of this is working on content that you feel connected to. That's why we made the quiz, and that's why we really, really put a lot of emphasis on you connecting with the right style of content, right? First of all, I really, really, I love writing, but I thought my writing, that was like my thing, right? Writing, captions, stories, that was my way of getting across the audience. And then I realized, hold on, I think I can get my message across a lot better, and people are receiving it a lot better when I do videos, when I'm on camera, when I'm really expressing myself, because I guess they feel the emotion more and I carry the emotion more when I'm on camera. So I discovered that that style of content works best for me. And everybody has their own style of content. And like we mentioned at the beginning of the video, even if you do from graphs, visuals, whatever, you can carry that out later on to different formats. But you're starting with the type of content that is more of you. And that's the goal of creating content, to make it more of your style, what you personally are the best at. And that's what you're going to find out below if you click the link of the quiz.
All right, guys. So that is it for today. We had a lot of information. Go ahead, reflect on it, and start taking action, okay? Go ahead and start using your content plan after you take the quiz. Find out what's the best way you can create content and get eyeballs to your business, to your service, or anything that you're trying to do. Remember, this is a traffic strategy. You're bringing attention to your project or anything that you're trying to do. It's not only for vanity metrics or anything like that. You're trying to get a message across, okay? You're trying to solve a problem, okay? So go ahead to the quiz, take it, and get the results and get the ball rolling.
Exactly. So 3 things of homework. First of all, find your grid, right? Create your grid. Second of all, take a picture, tag us on Instagram on your stories, and we'll repost it, okay? At @𝘴𝘤𝘦𝘱 and at @𝘬𝘬𝘦𝘱. And number 3, click that quiz that's in the description or the comments below. All right?
And for the people listening to the podcast, where can they find the quiz? What's the URL?
So the quiz, you can go to hello.thelauragomez.com/content quiz.
Awesome.
All right?
Awesome. All right, guys, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And once again, we'll see you next week. And make sure to follow Laura Gomez and at @𝘴𝘤𝘦𝘱 if you have any questions. We always love to get to know you better. So go ahead and give us a follow and start the conversation, okay?
Exactly. We'll talk to you soon. And we'll see you on next week's DDC Thursday.
All right, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. We need a jingle. Soon we'll have a jingle. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you later, alligators.